What's going on, people? Welcome back to another Sinclair TV. Back again, the show that keeps you up to date with all the latest transfers. And I've got Ian with me. Ian, how are you, mate?
Good as gold, mate. Yeah, good to see you. Just happy to jump on again, just to say hello.
Cool stuff. This is a recorded show, by the way, guys. So just want to let you know on that one as well. So, guys, and if you like the video, like and subscribe. If you like to super chat, you know exactly what you do. If you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. We're going to talk about Allan Saint-Maximin. We're going to talk about Harvey Barnes. We are going to talk Eintracht Frankfurt's Jasper Lindstrom as well, and a few others. So the first one I want to talk about, I'm getting sick of it as well, is Allan Saint-Maximin. Now, we don't know what his future holds with Newcastle United. He has been linked with Saudi clubs and AC Milan and Everton as well. He's 26 years old. He's got a market value of £40 million. Now, my opinion on this one is, I honestly think, I don't know where I'm at with this. I hope he stays. But if Eddie calls this one right, I will back him all the way in. Because for me, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on now. No one don't know at all.
Yeah, I think he's staying, actually. I don't think he's going anywhere. His cryptic message that he put out the other day, he quite often puts those cryptic messages out and nobody really understands them. I don't know whether they're lost in translation or whatever, but no, I don't think he's going anywhere. I've got a feeling if a big signing that's on the list that we can get hold of comes along and there's an option to get rid of him, I'm not saying that we won't. But I've just, I don't know anything. None of us know, do we? But I've just got a feeling he's staying. I think if something was going to happen, it would have happened by now for me.
Do you think now, Ian, the club should come out and just say, look, we're going to kill the speculation off right now. Allan Saint-Maximin's leaving. He's got 3 years left on his contract and he is raring to go. Or should Allan come out and just say, right, you know what? It's July. I'm going to stay. I'm going to fight for my place. It's about time now. Let's put this whole thing to bed, because at the end of the day, the speculation is going to get rife and the fans are just getting fed up now, to be honest. He's splitting the fans for me and I like him. I hope he stays. But if we get the next one we're going to talk about in a minute and we're going to go back to Allan, then for me personally, I think something like that needs to happen very, very soon, or Eddie needs to come out and say.
Well, I think Eddie's already come out and said in like one of his last interviews, he was asked about Maxi, and he said it's up to Maxi whether he stays or goes. It's up to him, and I genuinely do think that is the case. I think it's a case of like he needs to decide what he wants to do. Personally, I wouldn't sell him for any less than 35 to 40 million, because we can't replace anywhere near his quality for anything under that. So it's almost pointless. He's a great impact sub when he comes on. I think he could really do well in the Champions League. I think he'll take people by surprise, because although they'll have seen him, a lot of these clubs probably just see him as like sort of a little trick pony, like just dancing around and stuff. But he is good. Like, I think we just forget, because he's frustrating, and his injuries last season. And the rolling around on the floor, and that's the main thing I think that people are sort of sick of. But to be fair, when he did play last season, when he wasn't injured, he tracked back more, he passed more. He basically, for me, did everything that he was asked to do. He just kept getting injured. Now, some people will speculate whether he is actually injured or not. For me, he wouldn't get away with not being injured, saying he was injured and not being injured. There'll be scans, there'll be tests. They wouldn't be certainly not letting him go home to France and just have a bit of a break every couple of months, which is what people were saying. So I don't know. I understand where the frustration comes from. I'm frustrated as well, but this, I think, will be his last season, and he can prove himself or not.
This will be his 5th season. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to let Eddie make a call on this one. He just said there that it's going to go down to ASM. If he stays, then I'll have to back him. If he doesn't stay, then I think he needs to be moved on, if I'm honest with you. I know a lot of people's going to upset what I'm going to say, but I like Allan. I really, really do. He's got the dribbling skills is there. He can take on the player. On his day, is a world beater. But sometimes, I'm going to be honest, it can be, I hate to say it'd be that, but Ian, he has got a final product. He has got an end product to his game. I look at some great French players there. Hatton Ben Arthur, David Ginola, Lon Robert, right? Those three have all got an end product, yeah? I want Allan Saint-Maximin to eclipse a lot of them, yeah?
I think because did you see the video that was put out of all the misses, all the chances that he set up that would have been assists, where he wasn't selfish. He didn't just take the ball in his own cut inside and shoot with his right foot and, hit the corner flag like he would have done in the past. Yeah. He actually did what he was meant to do, worked his way into the box, made the pass, made the cross. And there was a lot. I didn't count them, but I mean, I watched that thing that was put out quickly, and there was, going back through the season, there were a lot of chances missed from him. So I just think that I think he's definitely, I don't think anybody will pay enough money for us to warrant getting rid of him, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Ian. He's on 93k a week, if you believe the reports that are saying. But who's going to pay 93k a week for a player who is so talented, but sometimes haven't got an end product and flatters to deceive? However, right, I'm not going to criticise him, but at times he does flatter to deceive. Honestly, he's brilliant. But 93k a week, he's got 3 years left on his contract. It ends in 2026, and he's not won a French cap as yet. I mean, for me personally, I think he needs to, when he does get games, he needs to up his game slightly more.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Be patient with him. A lot of fans have been patient with him, though. I don't think
he played badly when he played. He had a few off games, but certainly, when he was coming back from injury, he did okay. Like, he was coming on as a sub a lot of the time, and he made a difference in the games. A lot of the games he came on. So I certainly don't think he'll be starting many games or starting all the games anyway, unless he starts really, like banging them in or, really, really playing well. But I definitely think that my point is, it's not really to do with how much he's being paid. It's to do with, I don't think that other clubs will come in and pay enough money for us to sell him, because if say for instance, we were offered 25 million, I would never sell him for 25 million, because you can't get somebody of the quality of Maxi for 25 million, in my opinion.
No, that is the thing. I mean, well, the thing is, though, now we got Champions League, and he also playing that as well. If he went to another club, then I don't think he'll be getting Champions League.
No, he's not going to go to a Champions League club, really, is he? He's going to go to a lesser league, probably a club that's in a lower European competition than the Champions League. And for him, it's a no-brainer. He might as well stay and try and redeem himself. He was fans' favourite. A lot of fans still love him, and it won't take a lot for him to get back on the right side of a lot of the people who are a bit sick of him at the moment. I'm not going to lie. I've been frustrated with him as well, but I just feel that he tried enough for me to change his game, to try. He was tracking back. He got injured tracking back. I think one of the last injuries he had, he actually got injured tracking back, which would have never happened. So I don't know. Is it for me as an impact sub coming off the bench? He could do stuff, So yeah, I'd say keep him, unless if we're offered 40 million, I'd sell him tomorrow. But apart from that, nah.
You have to have the three things. You have to have attitude, attributes, and fundamentals as well. And ASM has got those, in my opinion. Needs to do more, and I think I'd definitely keep him. If you give us some ratings out of 10 for the time he's been here, I'll give him a 7 out of 10, and could do more. But I hope he stays. It's this cool. We'll see what happens. Now, the next target to go with, a lot of people haven't heard of this guy, is Jasper Lindstrom. He plays his club football at Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. He's got a market value of £28 million, 23 years old, Danish international as well. Excuse me. And he's been with the German outfit for 2 seasons. Now, this guy, he looks a very good player. He's quick, he's so direct, and he's skillful as well. And he's a bit like Miggy, but slightly better than Miggy, if I'm honest with you. He's got electric dribbling skills, and footwork is fantastic. And beating defenders, you know what? He does that with ease as well. And he loves to take shots outside of his foot. And not only that as well, I mean, he gets in tight situations. I mean, I know a lot of people don't know a lot about this guy. He's, like I said, 20 million market value. I think Frankfurt probably asked for more, probably about 35 million quid. Do you know a lot about this guy, Ian? I can tell by your face you don't.
I don't know. I've obviously heard that we're linked with him, and I've seen little bits on YouTube. I had a quick look at him. He looks decent, but I haven't seen enough of him to be able to give you any sort of cast iron sort of opinion on him as such. You know, everybody can look good on YouTube, as we know. So I don't know whether he's better than Miggy. He does look quality. And if he was to come in, I think he's obviously done enough to prove himself for Frankfurt. So, you know, if he was to come in, I'd be buzzing. Yeah, and the stuff I'm reading as well, a lot of people say he is a real quality player. But again, I don't really watch German football apart from I went to a Mönchengladbach when I was on a stag do last summer, August last year, when they had the first game of their season. I went there. So that's the only real time I've watched a full German game, and that was interesting. Nowhere near the level of the Premier League, anyway. That's all I'd say. But it's one of them where I think nobody, unless you're into German football, nobody really knows how good he is until he comes in. But I think again, it's trust the process. If Eddie's interested in and you know the club want him, then he will be good enough, because they don't buy players who aren't good enough, in my opinion.
That's very, very true. I mean, look, he creates a lot of chances as well. Like I say, he's quick. He's got excellent dribbling skills, tidy footwork as well. Beats defenders of ease. He's very, very tricky. And he's won 10 Danish caps as well. And he played in 3 games of the World Cup as well. And also Europa League winner too. And he's got his weakness as well, by the way. And, you have to have a weakness in the game. His shooting's not the best. And then when he gets a shot on target, they're usually excellent, but at times either is inconsistency in front of goal, and he looks a bit slight as well. He's 6 foot, looks a bit slight, but since he has muscled up a bit.
Yeah, well, hopefully he can kick the ball with his right foot if he's he's not just completely left-footed or whatever. I don't know what foot he plays with, to be honest. But again, it's I've got my preference who I'd want in, as everybody will have, and I certainly don't know enough about him for him to be top of my list. But if the club want him and think he's the best option that's available at the right price, right time, right character, then I'm fully behind it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the thing is, we've got a great scouting network down Ashworth, Steve Nixon. They go out there on the quiet, and we don't know who they're looking at. We've got absolutely no clue whatsoever. And if Jasper Lindstrom comes out and he signs to Newcastle United, I'm sure he'd be in the first team 100%. And he plays a second striker. He can play on the wings as well. But if they're going to use him on the left, that's not going to be good news for ASM. And the next person I'm going to talk about in a minute, well, we could got a good chance of getting this guy as well. But at this moment in time, he might fancy a chance to the Premier League. I mean, Leipzig's after him as well. Arsenal want him as well, and AC Milan as well. They offered like a low ball price, and it's got turned down by Frankfurt. They still want 35 million quid, and that should be no problem at all.
Yeah, if it doesn't sound over the top, does it? So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So tell us, leave in the comments section down below. Has anyone watched Jasper Lindstrom in the Bundesliga? Leave me your thoughts, and can he cope in the Premier League? And the next we're going to talk about as well, close to home, just got relegated for the Premier League, and it's Harvey Barnes, plays on the left side of midfield, 25 years old, market value 32 million quid, and he plays for Leicester as well. 13 goals last season for a relegated team. And look, listen, I'd take a punt, Ian. I really would take a punt on this guy. Eddie wants him, according to reports in a Telegraph, Micrograph, saying that Newcastle are definitely interested in this guy. Eddie Howe wants him as well. Competition from Villa and West Ham, of course. Whether they make concrete offers, we got no idea. However, if he comes available, and he will be available, I would take a punt on Harvey.
Yeah, I like him actually. You know, when I've seen him play against us, he's always been okay. He does go missing at times, I think. But players, you know, wingers can do if they're not getting the service, if they're not getting the ball, then it's hard for them to get into the game unless they're coming out of position. So, yeah, he looks really good. He's absolutely rapid as well, isn't he? You know, like when I've seen him with the ball at his feet, he is quick. And he's obviously great. He's a good finisher. He scores double figures goals. I think is it last three seasons he's had double figures, over 10 goals in the Premier. He's certainly been around that sort of figure. So yeah, he's good. I would like him. The only thing that sort of makes me think that it might not happen is the club being too greedy and us not wanting to pay the money for him that they'll want. You know, I know 35 million is being sort of knocked around and bandied around, but you know, obviously we can only look at what's happened in the recent past where they were asking 60 million. You know, like, you know, are they going to do that again? If they do, our track record says that we'll just tell them to stick it and walk away. You know, we're not going to be messed around. Certainly not by Leicester. You know, so. I don't know again. Well, I don't know. I don't know about any of them, you know. But I do like him as a player, and if he was to come in, I think he would be excellent. I don't know whether he'd walk into the first team. I would very much doubt that he would just walk into the first team. I think that for me, we would. I think there's a good chance that Big Joe will be pushed out on the left hand side, interchanging with Willock. You know, so it offers us a lot more stability and a lot more solidity in the midfield when we play like that. For me, it's not quite as dynamic, but you know, it's tried and tested. So, but yeah, if he's happy to come in and fight for his place, then yeah, I'd be buzzing if we got him. He's a good player.
Yeah, in the Premier League this season, he's had 40 appearances, 13 goals, and 3 assists this season. And you know what it is, right? I mean, he scores some cracking goals as well, especially in big games as well. And Harvey Barnes is 25 years of age, and was he 5'11", 6 foot? And for me, his work rate is fantastic. It really is. And if he does come to Newcastle, could that be the end of Allan Saint-Maximin's time at Newcastle United? Because I tell you what, he comes in with great pedigree. He's got Premier League experience. We know that. But at this moment in time, I think this guy is going to learn very, very quickly under Eddie Howe because he's skillful. Like you said, he's rapid, he's quick, great close ball control. He's got it.
Yeah, if he does come in, it's not necessarily that Maxi's gone, but I think if he does come in, it's certainly going to be a lot harder for Maxi to get game time, obviously, because they do basically play the same position. So yeah, I would. Again, it's one that I'm not overly confident of happening. For me, I'm more interested in seeing a left back who's a more attacking left back as an option, and a right-sided centre back, and maybe sort of number 8, number 10 attacking midfielder. There'd be my preferences if we were going to get anybody in, but that's just my opinion. You know, obviously people have different opinions on stuff, but they're the positions I think we need to strengthen sooner rather than later. I think we're fairly well covered actually on the left-hand side for me.
Yeah. Is he the best dribbler of the football? Probably not. Is he quick? Yes. Can he score goals? Yes. Can he take on a player? Yes. And I tell you what it is, right? I mean, I would say yes to Harvey Barnes. I'd take a punt at 32 mil. I would definitely take a punt. Could be worth 35 mil, but I will say that if Eddie backs him and buy this guy, I'll take it.
Oh, I'd be buzzing if he came. He's a great player, but yeah, but I'm just again going to sit on the fence because I haven't got a clue. But he is definitely, he's Premiership proven. So yeah, he'd be a good player for us to get in.
100%. And there's other players we haven't mentioned as well as Livramento from Southampton. Now, according to multiple reports, that he'd rather come to Newcastle rather than join Chelsea. And Pochettino's furious about it, but we just don't know what to believe. I mean, Chelsea got a buyback clause of 38 million quid, right? Newcastle offered 15 to 20 million quid. I got rejected out of hand. And I can't lie, I don't blame Southampton to reject it because he's worth a lot more than that. Yes, he had injuries. Yes, he has been playing much game time, but Livramento could be a kind of replacement for Kieran Trippier in future years. So, I mean, if he learns some Kieran, hey ho, I think it'd be fantastic to walk straight in. But for me, I think he should come to Newcastle rather than Chelsea because he'd be playing second fiddle to Reece James.
Yeah, well, that's why he left Chelsea in the first place, I think, wasn't it? Because he wasn't getting any game time. So it's fairly pointless in going back there. The buyback clause they've got, my understanding of the buyback clause is that he has to agree that he wants to go back. And if he doesn't want to go back, then the buyback clause it doesn't matter. They can offer it all they want. If he doesn't want to go there, he doesn't have to, is my understanding. I might be wrong, but that's what I understand about it. So, yeah, I've seen there's lots of reports in there, but I've seen that he is potentially more interested in coming to us. I think it'd be a great move for him because trips, however much we want him to be able to play, he is getting older now, and he's not going to be able to play every game. I would imagine that they will share the game time. He'd learn a lot of trips. And I actually think he's a real quality player. He's got a really high bar that he could go on to be one of the best right backs in the Premier League. And certainly if Trips is number one this year, I would imagine he'd be fighting for him next year because obviously that year older, the legs are a year slower. Obviously Trippier is always going to have the great delivery that he's got and the reading of the game that he's got, but he is obviously slowing down now. He's going to, it's just you can't do anything about getting older, So I would imagine if I was him, I'd rather come to us than come to Chelsea. Let's put it that way.
100%. He's a marauding right back as well. He loves getting forward and he loves getting back to defend as well. And there's I want to talk about as well Sandro Tonali as well. What a signing! I mean, 55 million quid, club record fee, and with add-ons on the top as well. And I think he fits in really well because I'm a big fan of Italian football. This guy will be a huge success. I mean, I spoke to Sabrina on Sunday. We had a scouting report on Sandro, and she said to all Newcastle fans, give him a year to get things right. I know this guy. I think this guy's going to make it.
I don't even think he'll need a year. I think he's going to come in and smash it straight away. Like I've been seeing him. He's perfect for our team, the way we play, the way we close down, the way we battle. He's a fighter. He loves a scrap. Like he will fit in really, really well. He looks like his football intelligence is really high. He's got a real good football brain. He can play multiple positions. He's going to dovetail perfectly, I think, with the way I see it. If we do go with the three in the middle, which a lot of people think we will, with Big Joe in the middle, rather than I actually think Joe will go out on the left predominantly as a first choice. I think Willock will sit in the number 8 position, and I think we'll possibly play with rather than play a 3, we might go with a double pivot with Bruno and him alternating. But even if it's a flat 3 with any choice of the 3 midfielders we've got, whether it's Longstaff, whether it's Willock, whether it's Big Joe, he can play any position. He can go forward. He can come backwards. He can, he can fight for the ball. He's got a great range of passing. He's got long passings, good. He can take free kicks. He's got everything, and he's got a set of cojones, if you want to put it that way, about him. He likes a fight. He looks pretty quick as well, from what I've seen of him. He's not a slouch, is he? He's fairly...
He's a regista. He's a regista, the CDM, front of the back 4. He loves getting the ball. He takes the game. Vision as well as passing, his vision, his dead ball situation's been fantastic. This guy's going to be a complete midfielder.
He likes to cross. He likes to cross to the back post. I've noticed that.
Yes,
in open play, when he just pulls out to the right and just chips that little dinked pass over. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Totally agree. And you know what? I mean, this guy's going to make a difference for Newcastle United. We definitely did the CDM. Also did the CDM. Now we've got one, and hopefully it'll be a huge success. And by the way, he landed in Newcastle today as well to take the media interviews as well. And I really missed out. I would have loved to be there today. I would have done a content there as well. But it is what it is. We'll talk about Jakim Anderson from Crystal Palace and Matt Gubi as well. They both play together as centre backs. I'll take one of them. I'd take Anderson for me because that guy, he is a brilliant defender. 27 years old, market value 30 million quid. And the thing is, right, Palace wants 50 to 60 million quid for the Danish international. 27 years old.
At half of that, and I'd take him. He's not a £60 million player, in my opinion. No way. So he's good. His passing's great. Like from what I've seen him, when I've seen him play, he's not. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch Palace. I've only seen him on Match of the Day and when they've played against us, really, to be honest. But he is a good defender, but he's definitely not a £60 million defender. It's laughable that he's got absolutely no chance of getting that. In my opinion, if another team plays that, they've been mugged right off. So.
And not being funny, right? But Kimi J for Napoli costs 45 million quid to go to Bayern Munich once that deal goes through. How on earth he's worth 60 mil? I have absolutely no idea. Don't forget, Joachim Andersen have not won. I can't remember winning a title at all. So whoever Kimi J has for Napoli last season. But for me, it's just again Premier League. They just charge you what they want. Do you know what I mean? If it's an English player, they add the zeros at the end of it as well, Ian.
Yeah, but that's the good thing with us. We aren't going to pay these stupid fees unless we think someone's got a ceiling. We'll pay 55 million for Tonali. We'll pay, 58, 60 million for Isak. We will pay for the younger players. But this lad's he's like 27, 28 nearly or something. Yeah. So why you're not going to pay a premium for 60 million quid for him unless he's like bloody Roberto Carlos or something, you know what I mean? He'd have to be unbelievable for you to pay that amount of money for him. You just, in my opinion anyway, he's good and he would improve us. I think he's probably at Cher's level, maybe slightly better than Cher from what I'm reading, not from what I've seen. I think Cher was better than him last season, certainly. But from a lot of what people are saying, he is quality. When I've seen him, he's been good, but he's been 30 million good, 25, 30 million, 60 million, stick it. That's my opinion.
I'm afraid to say he's gonna take that much as well, because I'm reading now that Palace bought him in a £17 million deal, right? And they reckon it's a fantastic piece of business there. However, I mean,
it is if they charge someone 60 million for him,
exactly. But
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I just cannot see that happening at all whatsoever. I just cannot see it happening whatsoever. And it is what it is. So if they want 60 mil, they can go get someone else. It's as simple as that. It's basically telling us that he ain't for sale. And if you won't be stupid enough to pay that sort of money, you carry on. We laugh at you. But you know what? We'll not be laughing. We'll not be paying for it. End story. No. Simple as that. But yeah, I mean, the last piece of today about the news, Newcastle update today, is about the transfer policy. I mean, I know people are kicking off and saying, why are we not buying any players, this and that, and all that sort of thing. Why are people so impatient? The window's just opened, right? And already people are kicking off, yeah? And I'm not being funny. It's going to take time. Transfer deals doesn't work overnight. It takes days. It can even take weeks, yeah? And I love the way they do their business. I mean, an unnamed player and someone who's unnamed has come out and said that the way we do our business is working absolutely perfect. They check their age, their attitude, and the way they act as well. We do not want any prima donnas at the football club at all, Ian. And I tell you what, we're doing it. We're just loving it.
Yeah. The window for buying European players has only been open 5 days. You know what I mean? And 2 of those days were the weekend. So we've had 3 working days, Monday to Friday, in the window, and people were melting down before the window had even opened for European players. We're not going to pay over the odds. Therefore, players from the Premier League are getting priced out of the market. Our best players nobody should get this wrong and get it skewed. Our best players that we've bought in have all come from Europe, for me. Even, obviously Tripp's had Premiership experience, but when you list the best players that we bought, the spine of the team, the great players, the Botmans, the Brunos, the Trippiers, all the players that we brought in, Isak, all of those players have come from European leagues, and we've got them all for what I would class a good deal. We're not going to pay over the odds to just, you know, although we'd like Premiership experience, it's not as valuable as people are making out. And I think that the media's sort of over-egged this in what this, you know, over-egged the pudding with reading into things that Eddie said. Because Eddie has said he likes Premier League experience, but that doesn't mean he's going to just like pay double what someone's worth for it. It means that's an attractive thing to him, but you're still only going to pay what you think they're worth. And yeah, so I think people just need to chill out. We've got plenty of time. You know, the season doesn't start until the 12th of August. You know, my birthday, by the way. And that'll be a nice present. Yeah.
Oh man.
And we'll see what happens. I think we'll have another couple of first team signings in the next couple of weeks. I'll be surprised if we don't. But if we don't, we don't. Remember that our squad last year with the signing of one player in midfield has massively changed. That one player is like two signings for me, you know, because he can play number 8, he can play number 6, he can do everything, he can go box to box. So I think Tonali's signing is bigger than just one person. It's like 2 new signings for me, and we don't at the moment we don't need to go out and panic buy. We'll probably see that we'll get another couple in sooner rather than later before the start of the season, hopefully before the American friendlies, and then there may be I think there'll be 5 coming for the first team plus kids, you know. So I think we'll probably get another 2, and then right at the, you know, in the last couple of days of the window, people might drop their expectations of what they're going to get paid when they're trying to rip us off and think, oh, actually, we need some money here, you know. So, but that's just what I think. I don't know.
Absolutely. And one bit of breaking news as well, that Arda Guler, the Turkish lad from Fenerbahce, everyone says he's a Turkish Messi, right? Our name's been linked to him as well. He's going to Real Madrid. Yeah,
obviously. He's absolutely amazing, and he looks quality. Is that done and dusted now, is it?
According to Fabrizio Romano, he said that Madrid and Fenerbahce are now checking documents and contracts of the final full proposal. 20 million guaranteed fee, extra add-ons, package, taxes and VAT. Then also separate commissions on player side. It's the final step for Madrid, then time to plan for Arda's travel. So that's pretty much a done deal. And that'll take a couple of days before the Turkish international.
As soon as you know, the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know, Bayern Munich are interested in players like that, especially Real Madrid, they will chuck massive signing on fees and 250 grand a week, and we're not in a position, we could do it, but we're not in a position to do that because it would completely kill the wage structure that we've got at the moment that we need to stick to. So there's going to be more Gulers coming around in the next couple of years, so we've just got to hang tight. If we'd have got him, that would have been amazing, because he looks absolutely mint. But yeah, no, good luck to him. He looks a real quality player.
He does. He's going to go a very long way. And the last time, I'm going to go back to Allan Saint-Maximin as well. I mean, I'm looking at it now. According to Graham Bailey, he's saying, in his opinion, that Allan Saint-Maximin is an option for Saudi Arabia this summer, and the former Nice man is no longer in Eddie Howe's plan. And that's according to Graham Bailey. So what do you want to say about that? That does not look good if Graham Bailey is right.
The only reason I know Graham Bailey, to be honest, is because he's on another Newcastle podcast, which I know you're friends with. So I've seen him on there a few times. I don't really know how he would know that, because no information is coming out of the club that I can see. So if he knows something, he knows something. But I personally, like I said at the start of the show, with regards to Maxi, I think he's staying. So it's just my opinion, just my gut feeling on it. I think if he was going, he would have gone by now. So, but if you know, I'm sure a lot of these people, they're not making stuff up. The journalists like Graham Bailey and all the journalists that, you know, that report stuff are getting told by people, you know, such and such, the Saudis are interested in them. Well, they probably are interested, but it's whether it's going to happen or not, you know. So I'm not slating them or anything. I just don't think that's happening, but I might be wrong.
Fair enough. Well,
if he is, the Saudis can pay us 70 million for him. That'd be good.
100%. And you know what it is, right? The PIF is on the Saudi Pro League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That looks to the advantage as well. So, look,
Exactly.
if you want to go to Saudi, then you know what? They can pay some more money, and then that'll be better for Newcastle United. But hey ho.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Listen, we're gonna wrap it up there. But thanks for coming in, right? And
Yeah, no problem.
you know, for the Newcastle update. And I'm glad that you wanted to do it as well. So I thought I'd get you in. And what are your plans this week?
Not a lot, really. I've got. I think I'm going to be jumping on another podcast, which we discussed, just to talk about the charity thing that I'm doing. That I'll probably jump on with you next week and have a chat about with people, which is charity fundraiser for a sports club that I'm involved with. But again, I will not go on about that. And yeah, apart from that, I've got Tommy this weekend, so we'll be we're at cricket on Friday, cricket Saturday, cricket Sunday. So
Beautiful.
cricket.
Fantastic stuff. And can you tell us where you can find you on your socials, please? And
just Ian Sutcliffe on Facebook. I'm not on anything else at the moment. I will be jumping on Twitter for Stamford and Cricket Club at some point soon. I'm going to jump on that. I don't know whether I'll take it over or just jump on, but that's the team I play for, so I'm going to help them with that side of things. But yeah, that's just me on Facebook, really. If anyone wants to send us a message or anything, they can do. Not a problem.
Fantastic stuff. I will do backstage, Ian. And guys, if you like the video and like what I see, give it a like, subscribe, and also super chat, and also join as a member for 99p. And that's it for Newcastle update. And if you got anything to say about what we spoke about, leave your comments in the section down below. And as always, have a fantastic